I saw where the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom is lobbying for London to get the Super Bowl at some point. This comes up occasionally.
Yep.
I do think we're headed towards this. I don't know if it's 10 years from now, but I think the NFL can take the heat because you're still going to tune into the Super Bowl. Where do you land on this story?
I agree that I think eventually it will happen. I think the biggest hurdle now is the television rating is such a big deal. And the NFL really does care about 70 million versus 80 million versus 100 million versus 120 million. And if you really care about that, your kickoff time does matter, you know? And so if you're holding the game in London, if it's at, what would it be? If it was at 8 o'clock.
11:25? Oh,
Right, like no, but if it was
local.
at 8 o'clock local, then that's 3 o'clock Eastern. And you can say it's the Super Bowl, yeah, like everybody's going to sit down and watch it. But is that really true? I mean, the Super Bowl is a unique one because it is so dependent on the drive-by viewer. You know, that number going from in the playoffs like 50 million to 120 million, that's not based on people like me and you, Dan, tuning in. You know what I mean? Like we're there regardless. That's based on people who could take it or leave it, who I like quite literally could say like, no, I go out for my walk, or I go out for a hike on Sunday afternoon. So if the game's on at 7, I'm going to watch it. But if it's on at 3, I'm not. So I think that's the one hurdle is like the television number, the advertising rates, all of that different stuff, like the communal aspect of the Super Bowl. But I think they would love to do it, because I do think growing internationally is a huge priority of Roger Goodell's. It's a huge priority of the league offices. It's a huge priority for a lot of owners. And I think what they've figured out over the years, there's a reason why they don't put preseason games over there anymore, right? Like they used to do that. Remember the Tokyo Bowl back in the day? They used to do that. And the reason they don't do that, the reason they pulled NFL Europe is they felt like those things don't make a dent. Like you got to send them the real thing, which I think is why they feel like now they're starting to make a dent because they're sending the real thing overseas. And of course, there'd be nothing more impactful than putting the Super Bowl in another country.
What about a Saturday night Super Bowl in London? And you started a little bit later.
Okay. So
do you
what
think?
you're saying, like the Londoners got to put up with a 10 p.m. kickoff or something?
No, let's say kickoff is at 9.
So it's 4 in the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah.
But now you're talking about a Saturday rating versus a Sunday rating. You know more about this than I do, but isn't Sunday a much better ratings day than Saturday?
Yeah, but it's the Super Bowl, and you get
It
to
is a
get
Super Bowl,
up.
but what I'm saying,
You get
Dan,
to
is
get up
that,
on
like,
Sunday, though. You don't have to worry about Monday.
right, but like what I'm saying is that the Super Bowl is so dependent on that rating is so dependent on people who could take it or leave it. You know what I mean? That rating going through the roof, is based on so many people that don't normally watch sitting down and watching with everybody else. And do you lose that take it or leave it viewer if you're putting it at a less opportune time? I think that's the sort of question. And I don't know. Like maybe you don't, but I think that's the sort of question that will get batted around.